Hi guys, and welcome to my review of the Dell Ultrasharp U2515H. This monitor is already on the market for about 1 year, I would say, but I still think it's worth taking another look at it, especially due to the great value these days. It costs at around 280 euros right now. I got mine for slightly over 250. Therefore, you get a 25-inch 1440p display. Just as a comparison, most of the people would recommend to go for 27 inches with 1440p, but the 27-inch model of this one costs 480. So you pay about 200 more just to get 2 inches. I personally don't think it's worth the extra money, but if you need it, because I tried 27 inches, I tried 25 inches, and I think 25, especially for the value, is unbeatable. Many say 27 inches optimized for 1440p, but I think 25 is a perfect sweet spot as well, because things are a little bit smaller, because the screen is a little bit more dense. Therefore, you get a higher screen density, so everything is a little bit sharper, but objects are still not small enough. From my normal working distance, it was always big enough, had no issues, but therefore I really know to appreciate the sharp screen. Now, what about the features here, or the ergonomics first? And this is something where I'm super happy. You can get all the way up to here, all the way up to here. You can tilt it, more than enough. I never really used more than a bit tilt. You can swivel it to 45 degrees in each angle, and you could even go to portrait mode if you would like to, even though with 3 monitors at least it doesn't make so much sense to me. If you go to the back here, there are all the ports here at the back, and they all go upwards. In terms of ports, you are absolutely on the fine side. You get 2 HDMI, mini display port in, display port out, so you can use daisy chain. You have a 3-port USB 3.0 hub and another USB 3.0 here at the back. This one doesn't make so much sense to me, but the USB 3.0 hub, the 3-port one, is absolutely great because I plugged my peripherals in there, my keyboard and my mouse, and I'm absolutely happy with that. So in terms of features and ergonomics, you should be covered. You have more than enough ports you could wish for. You have all the ergonomic features you would like to have to adjust it just the way you want to. So this is covered. This is pretty much perfect. The bezels are also very, very small, and using them all 3 side by side, I like them. I don't really notice the bezels at all. So let's get to the picture quality then. First of all, it is an IPS 1440p display on 25 inches. We have IPS glow, that can't be denied. If you look from some angles, you see this glow, but I gotta actually say it's more noticeable than I would have thought at first. But from a normal sitting height, looking at them normally, it's absolutely fine. Yes, the blacks maybe could be a little bit deeper. They aren't maybe just pitch black in some situations, especially from some weird angles due to the IPS glow. But at least on my 3 monitors, the black is very uniform, pretty much no light bleed at all. I'm super happy with that. And I also noticed, using them for a longer period of time, that you don't usually have too many whole black areas, and that's why you don't notice either the IPS glow nor the backlight bleed that isn't there anyways. The white point of this display is absolutely spot on. I have 3, and my middle one is ever so slightly warmer, and I only noticed this with all 3 side by side displaying a whole white picture. Otherwise, in the browser or so, if I don't have the same content of both, I never noticed, and I'm absolutely happy with the white because out of the box it's pretty much perfect. They are all calibrated already, and I didn't change a thing with the calibration itself because I think it's spot on. The white level is exactly where I want it to be, so I don't need to change it. The brightness is set to 50% by default, and I never change it because sometimes at night actually I think 50 is too bright for me and I should go down, but I just leave it all the times at 50%. At days it's bright enough for me, and at night it's almost too bright. Totally happy. 100% would just blow out my eyes. Now, what about the colors? Absolutely perfect, because the great thing here is we have a slight anti-matte coating, but it's a really subtle one. Usually I don't like an anti-glare coating because it washes out the colors and makes anything look a little bit less sharp. But this anti-glare coating is balanced pretty much perfectly because it doesn't reflect the screen so much. It diffuses the light very nice, so you don't see a reflection of yourself, which is good enough so you don't have the reflection. but it still maintains to be very, very sharp. The colors are very bright and vivid still, and absolutely natural at all times. Of course, you can calibrate it a little bit more if you want to, or just set a different preset because you have many availables here. I could show off the on-screen menu, but I don't think it's actually worth it because it's a typical on-screen display. You have capacitive buttons on the back, which I would maybe complain a little bit about it because they work quite okay, but the power button has to be pressed a little bit harder. But that's such a minor thing because I usually don't use that at all. Now, what about the gaming and about the size? I tried gaming on it with an Alienware gaming laptop. For me, it was absolutely fine. The response time was absolutely fine. For a casual gamer, it should be more than enough. If you are maybe a competitive gamer, maybe the response time isn't good enough for you. But I definitely know to appreciate the IPS screen. And for the normal gamer, I don't see an issue. It was responsive. I didn't have any motion blur. And the gaming experience was great. Now, should you go for a 34-inch ultra-wide or go for a triple monitor setup because they pretty much cost the same? The 34-inch ultra-wide from Dell that I reviewed costed about $750. I paid slightly over $750, like $756 for all three of them. Now, that's up for you. The 34-inch for a one display is a great solution for gaming because it's the same height as a 27-inch, so a little bit higher, therefore wider. And the gaming experience was really great on it, but therefore it had light bleed since it was also a curved one, which here is definitely noticeable. The picture is just way more uniform. Now, if you use a triple monitor setup of these, have the horsepower to drive all that for a game, I think the gaming experience would be great. Personally, my PC won't be capable enough, so I will use just one. But from a normal sitting distance, it's still okay for gaming. Of course, if you want to maybe game more, go for a bigger one or use the triple monitor setup. But for gaming, I was happy and I couldn't complain. As for videos, it was okay, but it can't compete quite with a viewing experience of maybe a really great TV these days. Because for some reason, maybe because of the anti-glare, it just doesn't pop so much in a film, in a movie, but it still maintains to be great. So all this has been covered. So let me quickly wrap this up. Ergonomics and features are there. You can adjust it to your liking as you want to. You have more than enough ports. All the important ones, I would say, the USB hub is really great. Display quality, absolutely fine. No light bleed. Solid blacks, very awesome whites with totally great colors because very accurate but still vibrant and not dull at all. Response time was fine. Viewing angles were fine. Brightness was more than fine. The OSD, the little as I used it, was absolutely fine. And this makes me recommend this fully because otherwise I wouldn't have free. That's pretty much a given thing. But I can definitely recommend it. And if you get it for a price even to $300, it's still a great value because let's consider it. Let's say I would have paid $280. Let's say $800 for all three of them. For the same price, you get maybe a high quality 30-inch 4K display or a ultra-wide 34-inch. What's best for you is something you have to decide. I definitely know to appreciate the triple monitor setup because for productivity, it's just great for me. Absolutely perfect. I couldn't be any happier. The size is absolutely fine. I think 27 inches side by side would have been already overkill for me on this small desk. So for me, it's the perfect sweet spot in terms of picture quality, size, sharpness, for gaming, for productivity. It handles it well because it's an amazing all-rounder. Now, let me know in the comments if you think otherwise, if you maybe have tried it, if you have some better recommendations, because there is something like a Acer on the market as well for the same price, but with a lot less ergonomical features and all that. So this is something that I can't say more about. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments as well. Other than that, please give it a like if you liked it. If not, give it a dislike. Subscribe to my channel and I will see you next time soon. Okay, bye.